thing is, I'd like you to break that down for me because Houston, like after having okay, so having been to Houston, I got
Right.
to see just kind of how spread out everything was. There are a lot of things. I actually wound up going down with CAGT to promote Rise and Grind maybe a week or two before that event. I went down
Right.
to get people to sign up, and we went to a 64 event. We went to a Melee slash P Plus event. We went to an Ultimate Local. Got to meet and talk with Brandon and all that. And
Right.
we got to see a lot of the Smash scene, but also it's a very spread out, sort of discombobulated scene where not a whole lot has been centralized. Now, it sounds
Yes.
like that it has been remedied a little bit with Post Oak, but at the same time, there is still so much more to be had. But it sounds like 2025, from everything that you've indicated for me and everything that I've been hearing on the street, like that sounds like it's about to change and that the population of Houston is really going to start to like make it more becoming in the Smash scene.
So basically, what's happening right now is that Turnip Cafe, child Naomi, Turnip Cafe basically has a stranglehold on the scene right now. And I don't say
Mm-hmm.
that as a negative thing, right? I say this as a very, very good thing because what the scene of Houston needed so much is just they honestly, for the longest time, even since me in my time, um, they needed just some one person or one organization just running the show, bro.
They needed
That's
a
all it
shockwave.
is. They needed the shockwave, honestly. And like ever since like my era, it just seemed like the city was way too large, number one, and way too discombobulated, because everybody wanted to run their own local and like bro, we get it, like you want to run your local and it's just like in my head, I'm just like, why? Like why do you want to go through the trouble of running your local when somebody of running a local when somebody wants to dedicate their time and their time, their money,
To
like
centralize it.
bro, they centralized it. Like I for so long wanted Houston to basically adopt a system like Joey over there in Austin. Shout out to Joey and the EXE organization. They got it on
Mm.
lock. Them boys in Austin and them boys in DFW, they got it on lock. They have it
Yeah.
on lock. For DFW, you got two places. If you're not going to free play, you're going to Shockwave. Like, all right, cool. It
Yeah.
like in Austin, bro, if you're not going to an EXE event, you're going to Smashmania, and it's like, all right, cool. But in Houston, like, oh, there's a local on Monday we have to go to, a local on Tuesday, and a local on Wednesday, and the local on Thursday, and it's just like, bro, like,
Yeah. It
y'all,
works
y'all,
for some
y'all,
place like Tri-State where you can just be like, oh yeah, Monday we'll drive up to Jersey, and Friday night that's when you go down to the Hatboro for the Philly major. Oh, Wednesday, yeah, let's whatever. Let's just travel to New York. Like you're going to different places. You're not staying within the same freaking city.
right. But like Houston is so like large and condensed. It's just like, yo, like we're driving sometimes an hour away in the same city to get to a place, and we want to do the local or whatever. And I think that finally that time is coming to an end because Naomi is running the show, and Naomi has so many good things happening for the scene right now. Naomi literally um has locals, has the Arcadian, Naomi also has the insane regionals that happen that are basically Lumen rank events at the lowest tier, at like the C tier, I believe. And
Mm-hmm.
then and then not to mention like Naomi has a partnership with Comic Palooza. So I
Very
would
good.
which is the city's Comic Con, which is a very big con, which I would say like, yeah, if there's any place that you want to get in where you fit in, that's the place, right? Because you
Yeah.
basically you have the capacity to run a major if you get enough people involved,
It should be
right?
noted, by the way, that Houston is, I think, the fourth largest city in the United States. So,
Yes.
like, yeah, big deal.
Yes, very big deal. So that's amongst some of the for that Smash stuff, that those are the big things happening. And Palooza is basically the Super Bowl, right? It's the huge thing happening. They have city partnership. They're partnered with Palooza. That's a very big deal, right?
Yeah.
On the FGC side, of course, they're gonna have Texas Showdown, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have Texas Showdown. They're gonna have Space City Beatdowns, which is the city regional, right? When uh fighting game players come from all over the place.
Talk
Um,
to me a little bit about Space City Beatdown because I know that that's something that's been popping up a little bit more on people's tongues, even here in DFW. And while I know that the DFW Houston travel doesn't happen maybe with the frequency that we'd like, it is still what, a 4 hour 5 hour drive thereabouts, and the roads ain't always the best. Having
Right.
made the drive from Waco, please, I could tell you all about it. But
Right.
the yeah, no, you've done it. But the it's like 2 lanes in one spot. It's horrible. But the
Awful.
but at the same time, Space City Beatdown has started to build something just a little bit extra, so where Houston isn't just the place where you go to Texas Showdown anymore. It's starting to be the place where you kind of visit that regularly to get that level up. Sort of how you have
Yeah.
those spots in DFW.
Yeah, we the longest thing that Texas Showdown has needed for Space City Beatdown is obviously a venue. And I can't speak to, the exact processes of getting a venue, but I can tell you how hard it is to keep one. I really can.
Oh yeah,
Like these venues, bro, like if you're in the FGC, they come and go, right? And money is a commodity that's just needed. It is what it is, bro. Like especially if you're in the FGC, like people are going to charge you for using their spaces.
yeah,
So you have to come to some sort of agreement, which is the easy part. The hardest part, and will be the hardest part, is sustaining that agreement and staying in that local for as long as you possibly can. I
yeah.
think that Texas Showdown has done a good job. I think that they found a perfect space, bro, and like it couldn't have happened at a better time, especially for Space City Beatdowns, bro, because Capcom Fighting Collection just dropped, and then there's the
Hmm.
Game Collection 2 that's gonna drop or has dropped already. I'm pretty sure it has dropped already. The one with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because Texas Showdown is one of the largest is the largest like retro fighting game tournament. So
Yeah.
Texas Showdown, has retro games at the tournament that they can just get easy access to, right? Not to mention we got people bringing Super Guns and Dreamcasts all the time to play retro. Now,
Hmm.
that being said, right, we do have caveats, or not caveats, but we have a feather in our cap because we have Tekken, right? And
Yeah.
and and Cuddle Core is great, but we also have, you know, Joe Crush. We got
Joe Crusher in
Trojan.
San Antonio, yeah, and
Yeah,
Trojan gets down there. Like, no, Texas shows out to Houston for that tournament, for
yeah.
real. Yeah,
So it's a really really cool thing, and like the fact that we finally just found a space to where they can just play. That's the most important part. And yeah, like that's something very, very big for the FGC as well. Another big thing for the FGC as well that potentially could be a very big thing is that DreamCon is going to be in Houston the week after Combo Breaker. So
I